dancers are great athletes. You know, but I don't know. No, okay. Yeah, it just wrapped up. I think it was a solid spring. I mean, there's probably every coach in America will tell you they didn't get everything done that they wanted to get done. But I thought the guys got better. You know, fundamentally we got a little better. Understanding the schemes, terminology, that's all new. I think they got better with that. I was a little disappointed today at some of the penalties. I mean, we had some not very smart penalties at times, and that hadn't shown up too much. You know, procedure, pre-snap penalties. We should have none of those. I mean, we take great pride in not having self-made mistakes. So we'll get that fixed. But after that, I think the guys were, did what we asked them to do, and then we got a couple weeks of meetings. Still got time to get workouts in. Got some hard decisions to make, but it's been a fun group to coach.
Sort of talked about this through the spring now. Some of the things that you think you did really well this spring, you start well offense, but you can do some defense too, things that were maybe above and beyond what you expected.
Yeah, defensive we do a lot of stuff. I mean, Zach does a whole bunch of stuff, and it was limited today because Zach would put in 15 exotic blitzes for a spring game if I let him, so I have to temper that down a little bit. But it's a lot. And I thought our guys did a good job for the most part handling it, especially when you're going against offense, against defense, and the tempo is a little faster. It makes it tough on the offense too, but it also makes it tough on the defense to get lined up and no responsibilities. And so our pace is kind of it's non-negotiable how we're going to play with the pace, and we didn't do much today with it, but that's a process of learning. The typical things is that you teach things slowly till they really understand it, and then you can speed up, and it's just the opposite for us. We want to go as fast, and so our guys understand that's who we are and how we're going to play. And so that's a work in progress, but the base of introduction to it, if that's what you want to call it, I think that part's been in.
The number of plays that you did today, is that about what you expected, more or less?
Probably more. I
don't know. Count 88.
Was it 88 plays? I was wanting to get between 70 and 80. Yeah. And the younger guys, the second and third group, get 3/4 of them, which I think it kind of worked out that way. I was going to run 6 2-point plays, and then somehow the coaches screwed up the first one, and they threw it all off schedule. So, but the hell, they call it I was wanting to jump. I wasn't saying I wanted the fan to call a bad one and boo them, but I thought that would have been fun if it happened. And they wind up calling better plays than I called all day. So that was fun.
Coach, I know a lot of us thought we actually saw more than maybe was advertised. What went into doing a scrimmage, showing a little bit more than maybe what nationally people thought you were going to show?
Yeah, probably because there's a certain level of trust that I have with the media. With you guys, I just trust you so much. And then we'll see how that takes us, right? Challenge. Okay, well, these media know what to show and not show because they love Mountaineers too. So ask me that question again in a month. No, I mean we just got out there and did. There's a lot that we didn't do, and a lot more we've got to be able to do going forward.
I guess the alternative to a spring game would be another practice. That's the option too.
Yeah, and that today was kind of more like a practice. It wasn't a true game. We're not keeping score. We're not having. I did that one time where you had a certain scoring system for like 3 and outs or first downs, and after 5 minutes I got confused. Like, what are we doing here? Let's just play football, So I wanted to put the kickers under a little bit of pressure early, and that was good. I thought they responded. They were kicking with a little bit of wind, but they responded pretty good. So it was just the same format we had with some of the scrimmages. The only thing I didn't do at the end, which I wanted to do, I want to do some 2-minute drill stuff, like put a minute on the clock, offense down by 3, no one timeout, and then see what happens. And we did a bunch of that the last 2 practices. But I wanted to do a little bit of that today, but then I start thinking, okay, we're already at 80 plays. I got to get ready to shut her down.
Rich, you were involved with the Nicholas Award your first time around,
Yep.
So you knew Tommy. And then,
I knew Tommy very well. We were teammates,
So you thought of the award And then Clay Ash in winning it,
Yeah.
what you've thought of him.
Yeah, first off, Tommy Niklich was a great teammate. We were very close. He came here as a walk-on for Marion County. Next year, I came as a walk-on to Marion County. So he was kind of the guy, that I kind of looked at to say how it all went. We had the same position coach, and so I can remember it happened. It was really sad, but a great family. And so when they started doing the award, maybe I don't know, was it '93 or whenever it happened, I thought that was always really, really neat. Now I've always had a certain affinity for walk-ons. Haven't been a walk-on myself, and gotten a scholarship and seeing guys earn it. And so, those guys have a lot of pride. And Clay Ash has been one. We talked to the coaches that were here before, and he did a great job last year with special teams. He's had a good spring, and so he kind of embodied what Tommy Niklich was all about. So, yeah, he earned that for sure.
How do you feel about the play of the quarterbacks today?
I'll probably judge you better watching film. I thought they ran pretty well. I thought they were, I think we need to get rid of the ball quicker at times. There were a couple of throws we missed, but it's a very conscientious group. Overall, every one of them, they want to be good. They've learned a lot in a short period of time, and there's more on their plate than anybody on the team. I mean, I put more on them as far as learning goes, and so I think they've handled it pretty good, but there's another whole step they can take. But as a group, I really like their skill set, and I like their commitment. So it was fun. And we run them a lot. We were running them today a little bit, but I think they're all ultra competitive. This is what you think everybody would be, but there's always some guys that you wish were more competitive. I don't worry about the competitiveness in that room, so that's a good thing.
You mentioned you run him a lot, and I thought Max Brown in particular was real impressive with his legs today. Saw him even truck a guy there scrambling the ball. Any thoughts on both his performance individually running and just the quarterback rushing performance overall this spring?
Yeah, I think there were sometimes I think we had some misreads that could have handed it off, and they wanted to maybe try to make a play, Max that's one of his strengths is he's a strong, big, strong guy, can run pretty good. But all our quarterbacks can run. Nico and Jalen were in black shirts, so they're a little bit limited. When you put them in black and they're just tag, you probably can't see how well or what they could do to run. But they were live some other times in the spring too, so I got a chance to see them live running, and they're the older, experienced guys, so I didn't have to see them do that today.
Thoughts on Jalen Henderson coming off of a year where he really didn't play? Where you think he is physically, developmentally? How much does that do you notice that he didn't play last year?
The fact that he didn't play and now he's able to go everything full speed has been really good, from that standpoint. So he's healthy, and I didn't want to bang him up or, him and Nico have game experience at this level, so I'm not so worried about what were they going to handle if the bright lights come on. But at the same time, because everything's different when the quarterback's live, we had to see that a little bit this spring.
Is he harder to evaluate than Nico because he didn't play?
Not really. I mean, I just evaluate. I don't look too much in the past anyway. It's like my judgment or opinion on all our guys is what they do right here. Now, we made the evaluation what they did in the past when we signed them, right? So if we sign them, we must have liked what they did in the past, and then we'll just judge what they do when they get here.
Talked about the quarterback run game looking good, but the run game as a whole really impressed me today. Can you talk a little bit about the rushing offense?
Well, it's not big coach speak, but I wouldn't take a whole lot into anything that happened today. I'm not even good or bad. I mean, not that it wasn't good or some of it wasn't bad. It's just some of it's like, this guy looked great. Well, he was going against a true freshman that's supposed to be getting ready to ask his girlfriend to go to prom this weekend. You know what I mean? So does that really count? You know what I mean? So I don't. We have to take all those factors into consideration. Golly, this guy looked great against that guy. Well, that guy's 17 years old and supposed to be in high school. So I don't take too much of that. The thing that I try to take more of, like, when we're doing stupid penalties, are they doing the right technique, blocking the right way, running the right route, the things that irregardless of what the guy across of you is, are we doing that part right? And I think some of that was today, but there was some of that stuff today that's got to get better too.
What do you think of your defense's physicality today? It seemed like there's
Couple times good, couple times Same way with the blocking. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was Yeah, it can't be anytime. Looked like we was going in slow motion. I don't think we took the field like we owned it sometimes. We run off the field like we were running to, some kind of torture or punishment or something. So I didn't like that part of it. But they're learning. I mean, they haven't done it. We've only done 3 scrimmages. So
I feel like your teams, I guess you go from the development stage and weight training to spring ball to development stage to are you on target, you think, through all that?
I think, I don't know if we're on, that's a fair question. I don't know if we're on target, but we're further along than we were day one, which I would hope so, right? I mean, 3 months into it. So I'm not panicking because I told y'all this is eighth time, whatever it is, first spring. There ain't one of them ever been good. Majority of them been ugly and some like catastrophically ugly. And then I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And then 4 months later, it's okay. I don't have that feeling now, but it's like, there's a lot of stuff we got to get right. So if this time next year, next spring or the spring after that, I should be like, we should be a whole lot further along in the process. But we can work with them a little bit this summer. Not like in this practice mode, but we can work with our players enough to get them ready for fall camp.
Coach, after the ball game, it looked like you were getting pretty emotional, during Country Roads. I don't know if I'm looking too deep into it, but you want to talk about what it meant to you after the ball game?
Yeah, I mean, I think, and I told the players afterwards, I said, this is personal to me. This whole thing is, we played here, coached here a couple times, and I think our guys understand that. We playing after the Country Roads. You know when that started, right?
I mean, you started.
When did that start, Mike?
2002.
That was you, right, that started that.
Hello.
2002, he started it.
Yeah. And it was just like, I always thought it was kind of. And then I don't know remember how it caught on then, but it caught on at some point. One of the greatest traditions in college sports, college football anyway, right? And it's people that you don't have to be from here, but people that lived here, worked here, in the state, whatever. That's kind of iconic. And it's like the song has grown in popularity, right? Rocket Mortgage, Super Bowl. It's like, I wonder if the Don Denver family's getting royalties off of that. How about the Mountaineers? Hey, there's Ren. Do we get any royalties off of
State of West Virginia owns it.
the Rocket Mortgage? We should ask Rocket Mortgage to pay. I mean, they could sponsor there's a lot of ideas that Ren Baker has for Rocket Mortgage money.
You can figure things out, I'm sure.
Right.
I hear
Yeah.
that song everywhere. I heard it in Slovenia one time, if you believe it or
Were they singing it?
not.
There you go. It's iconic. And our players do too. I'm like, we got guys, but all of our players, they're all from somewhere, whether they're here or not. But it was kind of neat, and we only played after a win, right? Yeah. So when you hear that song, it's good memories. Nothing better than a winning locker room, and nothing better than a winning field playing Country Roads.
Did you evaluate your offensive line through the spring? What'd you think?
Yeah, a little concerned, Greg, with our depth. That I know there's a lot of youth there, but it's all new guys, right? I mean, the 5 starters and 3 or 4 of the backups are gone. So it's starting all over again, and they've worked really hard. We're going to be all right, but I'm more comfortable when we have 8 to 10 than I know that we can win with these guys 8 to 10 at this level. And I don't think we're there right now, but we got time to get it fixed.
The defense, I don't know how many guys you held out today for injuries or just didn't want them to go, but there's some new players there. Defensive line, linebacker, defensive back. How much of a difference have they made? Do you expect they'll make when we do see them next time?
Yeah, they're all. I mean, there was all kind of. I couldn't tell you who was with what group, but we same kind of thing, right? We need a bunch of new players and guys come in and compete, and we're going to have to get a few more in a couple weeks to come and compete. There's not. And if I'm not going to sit here and point out which guys have shown out really done a great job this spring, are going to be an all-conference guy, that you know why I'm not saying it, right? Right, because April 16th. When they change the portal date, I'll be talking about every guy, every strength and weakness. Right now, I ain't saying squat.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
You want to grade your PA announcer?
Dusty, work in progress.